As Frank, we are Monday night when we're recording this. Free agency begins on Wednesday. We've already had some big moves. So let's get to the trade that just happened as we're recording this. Matt Murray was traded from Ottawa to Toronto. Toronto gets Matt Murray. They also get a third rounder and a seventh rounder. And Ottawa retains 25% of the salary. Basically, Ottawa paid $2 million to well, yeah, now not even, yeah, just under 2 mil to have Toronto take Murray off their hands, and they gave him 2 draft picks.
Yeah, I mean, we heard the rumored trade that was supposed to go down between Buffalo and Ottawa, very similar in nature. And Matt Murray flexed the no trade card on Ottawa, understandably so. You know, player earns that right. It was up to the Sens to work with Murray more closely and getting that done beforehand. That's exactly actually what the Toronto Maple Leafs did with Peter Mrazek. The Blackhawks ended up not being on his no trade list, but he waived completely his no trade because he wanted to facilitate a move. I don't know exactly what was presented to Mrazek, but thinking back to the spot that he was in with his contract, I think the Leafs, since they weren't planning on buying him out, they were planning on basically burying him in the minors with the Marlies. And so sort of, if you're reading between the lines for Peter Mrazek, it was, you can either go to the AHL and play there, or we can trade you to another NHL team. You'll have an opportunity to play lots of games, which you'll do in Chicago. Now the Leafs were in a spot entering Monday morning where they didn't have any goaltender of NHL caliber under contract. And it's a roll of the dice. I think that's the best way to put it with Matt Murray. This is a straight up gamble, and he's got the pedigree, 2-time Stanley Cup winner. They've got the familiarity with him having played for Kyle Dubas and Sheldon Keefe in Sault Ste. Marie. And they've got the medical records to say that he's healthy. That's been the big question mark. Yes, Matt Murray's game has suffered. Yes, he's had a loss of confidence, but he's also struggled to stay on the ice. And so that would be the first part of this, solving this riddle or solving this problem for Matt Murray to get his career back on track, would just be staying upright. So that would be a step in the right direction. And now I think of utmost importance for Toronto is to get a second goaltender to play in tandem with Murray that you can trust should Murray falter. So basically, if you want to think of it from this perspective, the Leafs more or less signed Matt Murray to a 2-year deal for $4.7 million, which is way more than he would have gotten on the market given his play. But given the picks that are added in to soften a bit of that blow, maybe it makes it a little bit easier to stand. I can just tell you the reaction, Jason, on social media and from Leaf fans everywhere is, I can't believe we're betting this 100+ point roster on Matt Murray.
Yeah, it's a bold risk, and it's interesting. So you mentioned, Frank, 4.7 for Matt Murray. Free agency begins on Wednesday, and but legally, Toronto hasn't even talked to Darcy Kemper. I find that a tad odd. I'm not a big believer, unfortunately, that some teams all play by the rules or not. And maybe they've gotten wind that, he's going somewhere. Suddenly Washington has gotten rid of both of their goalies here. And
yeah, I find that to be the most curious dot to connect is all of a sudden they trade Vanacek and now they don't qualify Samsonov.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird. Goaltending is at a scarcity at the moment, and you've now deleted 2 from your roster. Yeah, that were both under team control.
Yeah, so magically, if I was connecting dots, Darcy Kemper to Washington, and now obviously Toronto knew where they were with Jack Campbell, and felt like maybe they weren't on the same page. And